Please stand if you're able. Take someone's hand if you feel comfortable. Come into the awareness of the Spirit as we sing Joy to the World.
Please remain standing, and now we light the fourth candle, the candle of joy, completing the Advent wreath. With my shaky hand, but deep presence. Don't give me flame. All right, and closing our eyes, coming into the presence. Spirit, we gather here today once again in a circle of joy and love. Once again, to still our hearts in the understanding that we are enough, remembering that inside of all the chaos and the kookiness of the season, that we come together now to put that aside, to seek the joy within and to share it with one another. The presence of God inside of us, always and everywhere, the spark that illuminates our good. All of this true in this moment. Joy within. And for this, we simply say, Amen, and so it is.
Go tell it on a mountain. Sing along.
Mountain.
Okay. Unity is a center of celebration and transformation, inspiration, spirit-centeredness, oneness, and joy. Please hold these truths in our heart as we say together our vision and mission statements. Mission statement. Mission statement. We are a vibrant spiritual community that celebrates the presence in all and awakens humanity to its divinity. And the vision statement. Centered in love, we joyously co-create a world of oneness, peace, and harmony. Beautiful. Welcome. It's the Sunday before Christmas. Santa's coming. I'm so excited. Good morning and welcome to Unity on the River. I am Michelle Lucia. Yes, that's my real name. And I will be facilitating today for the service for a wonderful man named Reverend Adam Sutton. Some of you might know him. He's been here before. I personally know him from before Unity. We actually knew each other previously, and then when he showed up here one day, I was like, oh my God. So it was great. I'd also like to welcome anyone celebrating here for the first time. Is anybody here for the first time? Great. Keep your hands up. Yay. We've got one here, one over there. Anybody else here for the first time? We have a flower for you. Someone from our welcome team will introduce themselves, and then in fellowship, there's a table that you can go and pick up a CD of the service. And I just want to thank you for coming today. You enrich us. We welcome all paths to God, and your presence brings more to us. Okay. I don't do this every week, so. I'd like to bring up Jane for our celebrations and invitations.
Good morning. I stand in the presence. All right. We have a Christmas greeting from Reverend Hogan with a little advertisement in it, but please play it.
Hogan here, wishing you a very Merry Christmas. In just a few days, we'll be opening presents and celebrating not just the birth of one of our greatest spiritual avatars, but that awareness and awakening of the Christ nature within us. And then it'll be a new year, 2015, the year we rise together. Our new theme, Rise, rising in spiritual excellence. And for that, I am going to need your help. Specifically, I need the help of a few of you to join me in leadership on the board. The board has a few open positions, and this is an opportunity to work with me and others as part of the team that leads us onward, upward, and even deeper within. It'll be a time of fellowship, communion, a time of going within, and a time of fun. I guarantee it'll be fun. How do I know? Because I'm a fun guy. So join me, and let's get the show on the road.
So we know we have a great new year to look forward to, don't we? And if anyone feels a call to be on the board, please see myself, Elaine Gaffney, John Mayer. I'm scanning for other board members, but please see one of us about it. And we are extending the application deadline till January 5th, so it's 2 more weeks. All right, thank you. Christmas Eve candles. We are continuing to ask for your help in preparing the little candles that we use in the Christmas Eve service. They need to be wrapped with an affirmation, and then they get a little pipe cleaner to tie it on there. They're out in hospitality. Some of y'all have been doing it for a few weeks. This is our last Sunday, so we need to get it wrapped up, and there's not a whole lot left out there. So please, if you're called, please pick some up after service in the hospitality, and just let's get that finished up. And thank you for your help with it. We have more vendors in the bookstore again this week. This is the last Sunday for holiday shopping. So please go out there and partake of all their lovely wares. We have the Sisterhood Group is meeting today in the Oneness Room at noon. I also want to say that there's a social activities activity of drumming that's going to be happening in here after the service. So it's coming. And the last thing I want to mention is name tags. We are asking everyone to please wear your name tag, noticing that some are not. And we have a lot of new people that have been coming, so it's certainly helpful for them to feel more comfortable and be able to know who they're talking to. And we want people wearing them for when Reverend Hogan gets here, because it's going to help him feel more comfortable and get connected to us. So we have a strong invitation. Start using your name tags. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jane. Okay, now it's the time in our service it's our favorite time of the service. We get to greet each other in love, either with a handshake or a hug. I invite you to say, I see you, I see your beauty, namaste. I see your possibilities. Thank you. I'd like to take a moment now to introduce our speaker, the Reverend Adam Sutton. His talk today is called Make a Joyful Choice. Reverend Adam Sutton is an inter-spiritual minister, musician, as you'll find out, and longtime friend of Unity on the River. He's an inspirational speaker and singer, sought-after coach and corporate trainer who has become a thought leader in the fields of positive psychology and practical spirituality. As an ordained interspiritual minister, most recently having led the dynamic and inclusive spiritual community in Boston, known as Unity in the City, Reverend Adam delivers a message of love and hope to enthusiastic congregations all over New England. So I'd like to give a warm Unity welcome to Reverend Adam Sutton.
This will be a real treat for you, Adam. He does a great job on this song. He's going to do the heart opener for us today.
There was such a build-up. Such a build-up. Enthusiastic congregations, thought leader. Oh, my. So allowing yourselves, this song often does open hearts. It can also link into a lot of memories, and what I've come to sort of appreciate about when I mix music and message. Allow yourself to take this in as a meditation. Allow yourself to open your heart, take a breath, close your eyes if you like, and just go on a little journey with me. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire, Jack Frost nipping at your nose, Yuletide carols being sung by a choir, and folks dressed up like Eskimos. Everybody knows a turkey and some mistletoe help to make the season bright. Tiny tots with their eyes all aglow will find it hard to sleep tonight. They know that Santa's on his way. He's loaded lots of toys and goodies on his sleigh. And every mother's child is gonna spy to see if reindeer really know how to fly. And so I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you. They know that Santa's on his way. He's loaded lots of toys and goodies on his sleigh. And every mother's child is gonna spy to see if reindeer really know how to fly. And so I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas to you. What a band you have. What a band you have. And what a gift it is, and what a joy. Thank you. Oh, I think I'm supposed to give a talk now. So it's always fun when there's a large enough stage so that I can move from musician to message. So here we go. The land of many mics, many mics, many mics, many mics, many mics. So thinking about this talk, I actually wrote the description for it, sitting in the Orlando International Airport a few weeks ago. Now, there's nothing like experiencing the chaos of the Christmas season than sitting at the Dunkin' Donuts in the center of the baggage terminal at Orlando International at around 3 o'clock in the afternoon when the Disney buses are flying by. There are streams of thousands of people coming from, for their Christmas vacation. There's an intensity about people's desire, right? I'm going to go to Orlando. I'm going to go where it's warm. Most people have got big coats on. I come from the land of big coats, like all of you. So I sat there and I took this in and I thought, what really is it that I feel called to talk about when I go up and visit one of my favorite places on earth, my own magic North Pole, when I come north from Boston to come up here and be with you all? What is it that I feel like the message that's coming through? And it was really about holding on to joy. So in Unity, this is the week, this is the Sunday, this is the month where we really hold joy out there and say, this is how we should be. Yes, we should be joyful. Joy to the world. And yet this morning, I looked out at many of your faces as we were doing our opening song, and there was not a huge amount of joy pouring forth. Let me explain. What I saw was, I'm reading internal voices. Okay, I had 3 cups of coffee, should have had 4. Okay, who's she? I've never seen her before. That's really interesting. I wonder what's going on here. This is not the seat that I usually get. I wanted to sit over there. I can't believe more people aren't here. Maura, could you play a little bit louder? The amazing Kreskin. I can go into your mind. In the chaos, in the craziness, it is very hard to have what we might call, in the training world, in the corporate world, I call it forced interaction. You will now be joyful, right? Once we finished the song, however, and once we told it on the mountain, that's when I saw it. When we allow ourselves to come into the presence of our own good, of our own joy, we're actually able to share it. Not before then. It is actually a fairly linear process. We need to understand our own good first. We need to source our own joy first. On the way up here in the car, I was thinking, really, it's about accessing and building and maintaining, with whatever fuel is necessary, an internal joy generator. Each of you has a joy generator. And I will tell you about my joy generator and what activates it. I will also tell you there are many moments in my life where the fuel is low and it's very hard to crank that pump back up. There are moments where the joy is not fully present. So I'll give you 2 of those and how I cranked up the joy. So I was in Orlando to go and visit my father and my stepmother. So odd to use the word stepmother when she's been one of my mothers for 40 years now. So my other mother. And my father and she retired and moved down to Ormond Beach, which is a little community up above Daytona Beach. But don't call it Daytona Beach. It's Ormond Beach. It's different. It's special. And I went down to visit for a little bit, primarily because I'm going to be away for Christmas, but also because my father's health is failing. And we live in an affirmational, prayer-based concept inside of New Thought and Unity, so I hesitate to say that, right? We're all afraid of putting that energy out to the universe, and God might be listening. The truth is, his health is failing in many ways, and he's vibrant and joyful. One of the ways in which his health seems to be letting him down is his memory. He's 80 years old, and so for the first time, as a 50-year-old son of an 80-year-old man, I'm having to deal with those complicated feelings that don't always seem joyful when I'm accessing my father and he's a little different than 6 months ago or 6 months before then. So what I needed to do was make some very clear choices, and that's what I offer you this morning. I made the choice once he picked me up from the airport and we drove to his favorite place, the hospital. Let me explain. His favorite place is the hospital because that's where he exercises with his friends. He's a cardiac patient. He knows it. And as his memory is failing, what I'm coming to understand is it's very important that he has places he remembers. So he wanted to take me to the place he has coffee, the place that he knows, introduce me to the cashier, because he knows her. Very simple stuff. And so I did that. We went, we sat down, and then I'm in a place of joy, and there's a bump, right? And the bump is when he starts talking about politics. And so the moment, welcome to Families at Christmas. Not only do they know where your buttons are, they actually installed them. And they are more than happy to push them in sequence when you give them a chance. So I'm sitting having this dreadful coffee that he is telling me is really good. I say, it's terrific, Dad. And I'm in full presence, and I'm listening, and I'm praying for patience. Patience and presence are often linked, right? So I'm praying for patience. And he starts talking about Obama, and Obama did this, and if only. And I realize, as I move into a more deep empathic heart, that there's a linkage in his brain which has become a little bit more simplistic in its circuitry, which says, I had a business, the business failed because of, and I realized he actually needed, for the first time I realized he needed to make it about something other than himself. And that's the way that he maintains his joy. But my joyful choice was this, and I offer it to you. I said in that moment, in times when I would have been silent previously, I said, look, I'm staying here for 4 days. We are not going to talk about politics. And I would appreciate it if we don't actually talk about religion in any divisive way. And he heard me in a new way. And he looked at me and he processed it and he said, okay, this does not mean that the next day on their, back to the buttons, on their 55-inch Samsung Smart TV, which they can barely operate, from 9 until 4 p.m., Fox News is playing. So while my stepmother is making me an amazing fresh juice in the Vitamix, I'm hearing Obama and the world and terrorism and Obama and the world and terrorism and Obama and the world and terrorism and Obama. And I'm getting shaky, And I said, could we at least turn the volume down? And that's what I offer you during this season. To be able to access your joy, you actually need to make a conscious choice to turn the volume down. I do not mean to move into a place of what I might call new thought lovey-dovey denial. Namaste. Namaste, Hans. Namaste, John. Namaste. Doris Day. Doris Day. Doris Day. What I'm actually saying is it is a conscious choice at this moment in time. The world needs your joy generator. Seriously, the world needs your capacity, my capacity, and we are the same. The world needs our capacity to, in those moments when the hate is spinning and it's running across the chyron at the bottom of the screen. Yes, that's what it's called. I have a friend who does it for a living in LA. She types those hateful messages. When that chyron is going across the bottom of the screen and you are in a place of sort of disconnected, energetic vibrancy, right? You need to make a choice. So I made some other choices. I said, please turn that down. Turn it down and tune in. And they were both able to do that. Actually, they were able to do that beautifully once we got out of the house. I will tell you, it is... some things you learn as an adult child. Let's get out of the house. Is there a museum we can go to where Fox is not playing? The moments where we were able to see one another were the moments where we simply said, look, let's turn away from the noise and be. Let's just be. And on the way up here in the car, I did that, right? So I often listen to Morning Edition. I listen to whatever's on Weekend Edition, right? And so I'm listening to the news, because the news is about 12 minutes before they get to the heart-opening good stuff that I like, I'm very partial to. So before we get to the human interest stories, I'm listening to the number of school children that were killed by the Taliban. I mean, I could give you the whole list. And again, I started to get that little shake. And I thought, is it actually denial for me to turn the other cheek, as Jesus might say? Is it actually wrong for me to turn away from the reality to be able to be in the presence. And in that moment, I thought, no, it's exactly what I'm called to do. So I turned it off, rarely do this, and I drove in a little bit of silence. When I turned it back on, I switched the station. And when I turned it back on, I was listening to Krista Tippett, who does a beautiful program on GBH in the morning called On Being. Amazing program. And in it, she was interviewing a couple of different people. One of them, and I might have his name wrong, was Father Joe Martin. He's written a couple of different books. He's a Jesuit priest and connected to the Dominican order. And the book he's written is perfect for me to reference today, but I have to remember what the name is. Wait. Between Heaven and Mirth. Just take that in. Between Heaven and Mirth. And so he said, look, I got 50 jokes. And I am not about to tell one of his jokes. It was hysterical about the difference between a Dominican and a Franciscan and a Lexus. So I won't even tell you the joke. But it was so clear and so true and so good. And this is the bottom line. It helped me regenerate. My joy generator heard it. I laughed out loud. I don't do that very often in the car. I laughed out loud. I thought, that's hysterical. And then he said very sweetly, I got 50 more of these. And it was like he was on stage in Vegas. And I loved it. I related to that. I thought it was terrific. What he was offering was that when we get so serious about our spirituality, so incredibly devotional about our understanding, our way, the way in which we see spirituality playing out in the world, what that actually can end up doing is pulling us into separation. So we come here and we talk about oneness. And this is one of the most beautiful places in this area to talk about oneness. I feel it in the room. I love coming to be with you all because it's real. There is an authenticity about the way in which you all wrestle with your authentic spiritual selves that I love to come and hold up and offer what I'm going through because I think we are all the same. We have challenges. Thank you. Yeah, give yourselves a round of applause. And I've never met your new minister, but he rocks. This is going to be a fun year and beyond. Really cool. So I will tell you the simple message that I'm here to offer is that you have the capacity to move within to your joy generator at any moment. You have the capacity to, in addition to making the joyful noise that the choir is making, to make a joyful choice. And the joyful choice that is called for every day, but specifically inside of this season, is to turn away from the noise and to be able to be present with one another. That is the biggest present available to anybody else in your life this holiday season, is your presence. There's the one presence, but the presence lives inside of you. At the end of my visit, 4 days, the one thing that my stepmother, who is now caretaker and chef and laundress and everything else, the one thing that she wanted was a little Christmas tree. And so my father and I, he's good with a mission and he can still drive. So we went on a mission to Big Lots. To Big Lots. I've never been to a Big Lots before, but he had pulled out the circular, right? We're going to get a Christmas tree, a little Christmas tree. I'm thinking little Christmas tree. We ended up getting a Christmas tree. So we go into Big Lots, right? And there's only one left of the one in the circular. And I'm understanding in that moment that it's important to him that he chose one and that he complete that process. Now, this is not just somebody sort of near the end of his life, perhaps. All of us have that desire to get something right by the end of the day. So I appreciate it. And so he pulled this out, and he said, this is the one we're going to get. And we went to the back of the Big Lots, and there were many, many trees, but there was only one left. Right? These are boxed up artificial Christmas trees already with the lights intertwined. Right? And I see there's one left, and I think, oh, God, amazing, beautiful, terrific. And I look at it, even better, it's on clearance. Now, let me tell you, clearance at Big Lots. All right? That's a big deal. I could have paid for it in shekels. You know, I was like, here, you know. So what I don't think about is the fact that there's probably a reason it's on clearance at Big Lots, right? So we buy it. He's all excited, the happiness, the joy. We take it home. I get his help in a way that he can offer to put the three pieces together, right? And then I get down on my knees and I'm fixing the circuitry as if I have any idea what I'm doing. Gay man, Home Depot moment. It was hysterical. Like, but I will tell you the truth. My father, thank you, Mickey. I had your number on speed dial. Right. What do I do now? So the cool thing is this. My grandfather's name was Clarence. That's my middle name, Adam Clarence Sutton. And in that moment, we channeled him because my grandfather Clarence was a master electrician who built many of the Ford plants in Kalamazoo, Michigan. And my father's very proud of his father. And in that moment, we had a beautiful moment when presence speaks and we're able to listen. I remember this, so I can say to my father, let's just channel Grandpa and figure out how to get this working. And my father understood that. These are the moments in this season that are so precious. When you are the one with your joy generator moving and your deep listening engaged to be able to hear a thought and say, that will connect us. That'll bring us together. That's the right choice. That's the joyful choice. I'm going to say that. So I turned to him and I offered that. His eyes lit up and he said, yeah. So we did that. And I'm serious. There was a moment where I knew what to do. And I leaned down and I saw that the wire had been disconnected. This is a simple thing for many of you. I thought it was amazing. Second coming on my knees here. Are you kidding me? So I shove it in, right, to the little receptacle, and guess what happens? It's gone. And my stepmother came out, and she said, you brought Christmas. And I thought, no, I didn't bring Christmas. No, Christmas was here. Christmas was here. Christmas will remain when I leave in a couple of days. Now, I will tell you that I called them a few days later because it had become disconnected in a storm, right? And so I explained to my father very patiently, just like Grandpa Clarence, you need to go get that black sticky tape, the electrician's tape. Do you know what I'm talking about? Yes, I know where I can buy it. Terrific. Well, I found out he didn't make it to get the tape. I don't mean didn't make it. My father's still alive, doing great. But he didn't make it to the heart, let me be clear. Sometimes I say things in a talk and people say, oh, I'm so sorry. I say, no, my father's fine. It's just a little slow. But he didn't make it to the hardware store. He wasn't able to go and buy that. So unfortunately, I'm trying to scheme from Boston. How do I get and at 50 I use these terms in my head, a neighbor boy. It's like 1957 and I'm channeling something. I actually said to my partner, well, what if I called a neighbor boy? Who would this be? Do any of us have those anymore? It's hysterical. To shovel or to help with the tree. Get a neighbor boy. So anyway, I say to them, maybe there's somebody, I don't think I use those terms, maybe there's somebody in the neighborhood who could help. No, we don't want to ask for help. No. Okay. We had Christmas for a moment. I bet your neighbors who were so thrilled, right? This is the coolest thing. We do the tree on the way out to drive to dinner. One of the neighbors, they don't talk, gated community. You can think all you want. Yes, gated community, golf course, the whole thing. People are not talking to one another. This woman stopped the car and said, I love your tree. It's beautiful. Thank you. So I bet she probably has had a hand in figuring out the lights and turning them back on. But what's more important is that in that moment, we were able to make a joyful choice with one another to sort of source that joy generator, crank it up and come back. Crank it up and come back to the very presence within. And that is what I will remember. That is my memory of Christmas this year. When the tree went on and I saw literally the lights of the trees in his eyes, I thought, this is cool. This is a joyful choice, to come here, to be open, to be present, to take my feelings of fear and anger and anxiety, to take all the rest of me, all of the human emotions that I'm experiencing through this loss of a certain kind, and to let them quiet over here, turn down that volume on that channel, and tune into another one. the channel of joy that's available to all of us. Each of you has a generator for joy. Each of you also has the deep responsibility as awake spiritual travelers on this path to access that more than the other parts of you this season. The world needs you. The world needs us. And for that, we can only be joyful. And so it is. Thank you. And so with that, we're going to move into a little bit of meditation. Just taking this message in at our very core, relaxing into our seat comfortably, closing our eyes, allowing the emotions to stay or go, to move through easily and effortlessly. Breathing in and out. In and out. Knowing in this moment that we are enough, just as we are. Generator fully fueled or not. The capacity to make a joyful choice always available. God within and present now. Every part of us having been brought here on our journey perfectly to today, to this moment. Whole, perfect, and well. Grateful for the joy and all else. We simply rest in the presence of our own open heart. Breathing in and out. Coming into stillness for just a few moments of rest. And breathing in and out. Allowing yourself to come back into this present moment. Leaving the memories, the hopes and the fears of all the years. Allowing them to pass through you now. Bringing yourself back into this present moment, into this holy community, connected by the power and presence, the one love at our heart. Breathing in and out. And so it is. Amen.
be soon. Don't hesitate. Make love, don't wait. Open your heart and let my love come in. I want this moment to start when you can fill your heart with more love, more joy. Age of time destroy. Oh, honey, now more love, more joy. Age of time could destroy. Oh, honey, now more love and more joy. More love, there's more love. Oh, there's more joy. An age of time, it cannot destroy us. There's more love and there's more joy. And the age of time could ever destroy. Tell me now, more love and more joy than age of time
Wow. Let us now pray for others by saying their names out loud. I say a blessing over these prayers in the prayer box, that your prayers have already been answered, that you are complete. And for those who have placed these prayers in the prayer box, may they also feel that. Thank you. In a moment, we'll be receiving our tithes and offerings. First, I'd like to take a moment to recognize our chaplains. So if you could please stand if you're able. Raise your hand. These beautiful souls are here to hear anything that you'd like to pray. Even if you have a grateful prayer, they love to hear that too. They'll be here right after service. Please go see them. Now it's time for tithes and offerings. One thing I wanted to say before we hold our tithes and offerings is I'd like to send out a big thank you to those who are automatic tithers, who tithe on a regular basis on a credit card. Thank you for that, to all that do that. And that's something that if you wanted to do, you could do, rather than bringing a check or cash in every week. It's an option. But thank you for all the regular tithers. Okay, let's hold our tithes in our hand. We invite those streaming to also join us. Hi, streamers. I never said hi to you. I'm sorry. We've got so much going on today. Hi. There's a button there. Now I'm going to ask you to donate after not saying hi. Sorry. There's a button there you can donate if you'd like. Please forgive me. Okay, let's hold our tithes and offerings in our hand. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
Very happy to invite Mr. Brian Dozer up to the sanctuary platform. He has a very, very cool version of Drummer Boy, and your part is what? Rum pum pum pum, rum pum pum pum, rum pum pum pum. It's all right. It's okay. It's okay. Mr. Brian Dozer.
It's been a busy week season.
Time life.
Yeah. I feel like the little guitar boy. Don't get me wrong, I'm loving it, but makes me a little spacey. Come, they told me, pa-rum-pa-pum-pum, a newborn king to see, pa-rum-pa-pum-pum, our finest gifts to bring, pa-rum-pa-pum-pum, to lay before the king, pa-rum-pa-pum-pum. Rumpa-pum-pum, rumpa-pum-pum. So to honor him, pa-rumpa-pum-pum, when we come, little baby, pa-rumpa-pum-pum, I am a poor boy too, pa-rum-pa-pum-pum. I have no gifts to bring, pa-rum-pa-pum-pum, that's fit to give the king, pa-rum-pa-pum-pum, rum-pa-pum-pum, rum-pa-pum-pum. Shall I play for you, pa-rum-pa-pum-pum, on my drum? Mary nodded, pa-rum-pa-pum-pum. The ox and lamb kept time, pa-rum-pa-pum-pum. I played my drum for him, pa-rum-pa-pum-pum. I played my best for him, pa-rum-pa-pum-pum, rum-pa-pum-pum, rum-pa-pum-pum. Then he smiled at me, pa-rum-pa-pum-pum, me and my drum.
Drummer boy, sound man, God. Great version, Brian brought that. Love it.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you for these tithes and offerings. We send these out to do the will and work of the joy in our center here at Unity. Thank you. And now let me ask Jane to come up again for some more announcements.
All right, a few more announcements to wrap up our holiday season. This week is Christmas. So we've got our Christmas Eve services on Wednesday night. We have two services, a 5:30 and a 7 p.m. The 5:30 is the family service. Reverend Ed Townley will be the speaker, and early service for the family, he is going to do a talk specifically to the kids. It'll be a slightly shorter service. I'm trying to make sure I know the musicians. Is that Meg? Yes, thank you. Meg and Maura. Yes, I knew that. So thank you very much. The next Sunday, the 28th, it will, Tulani de Marseille will be here. Yeah, she's always wonderful. Her talk will be Embracing the New You. She is also doing a burning bowl ceremony that we do every year after Christmas to release what doesn't serve before we start into the new year. Then we have New Year's Eve service on December 31st. Our Unity chaplains are going to be putting this service on, so that's going to be fabulous. Again, we're going to have Meg, and Brian's going to be back. Brian Hallisey has been out in rehab, but he's recovering from a stroke. But we have full intention he is going to be back here for that night. Yes. And then the next big thing is Reverend Hogan Holder is going to be here, starting his first day with us. It's actually Sunday, January 5th, I think, but it's Sunday. We know that. So really looking forward to that. Please show up. Let's give him a really, really, really huge, warm, over-the-top Unity on the River welcome. And I would like to ask Amy to come up to talk about some Unity classes she's got scheduled.
Good morning. I stand in the presence. Well, I am beyond excited. I'm excited because not only that, we have 2 new classes coming up, 2 spiritual enrichment education classes coming up with our brand new minister, Reverend Hogan Holder. As you know, Hogan's been teaching for us now for about 2 years now, and he's an excellent, excellent teacher. Life of Prayer is a great class. It's going to be on Wednesday evenings from 7 to 9, starting January the 14th. This is a great class, much like Adam was talking about, getting into that place of joy, knowing our divine nature. Life of Prayer is about being able to plug in. It's about plugging into our divine nature's awesomeness and praying from that place. So when the ship hits the sand, we can come from that place in prayer. The ship hits the fan. Yeah, hits the sand. Yeah. All right, so that class is $120, but we are offering an early bird special. So if you sign up now and sign up and pay by January 1st, you can take advantage of the early bird discount, which is $108, and we do have a sign-up sheet in the fellowship area. And that class is for 5 weeks. But wait, there's more. We also have Metaphysics 2 Part 1 coming up, and that's going to be over 3 consecutive Saturdays. That's starting January the 24th. I'm wondering why everyone's Huh? Oh, we changed the slide. Oh, very good. Saturday, January the 24th. Oh, yeah. All right, now at least I know. That is starting January the 24th, and it was really great because that ties into Adam's talk also, because this part of the metaphysics, and anyone can jump into these classes at any time, that part talks about our spiritual toolbox, which is like having that spiritual electric tape when you need it. And that class, again, is over 3 consecutive Saturdays. The cost of the class is $120. Early bird discount if you sign up by January 10th, but you have to sign up and you have to pay ahead of time. If you have any questions about any of these classes or would like to know more about Life of Prayer or metaphysics, please come see me in fellowship. I love talking about this stuff. So, thank you.
Thank you, Amy. Now it comes time for the thank yous in the service. I'd like to thank PowerPoint for being so quick. And Linda is on streaming. And Brian's doing double duty. And everybody out in fellowship. And everybody over there in the children's area. And the fabulous music team. And the choir. And everybody that's volunteering today. Anyone else? Anyone else? And the board. Who's here from the board? Please stand up.
You're awesome,
Thank you, Elaine. If you're interested in being on the board, please go see Elaine today. Let's see, what else? And thank me. Thank you. Yes. I love doing this. It's really fun. I just need to do it more often. Okay. I wanted to say so. Oh, and oh my gosh. I'd like to thank my friend, Reverend Adam Sutton, for being here today. Awesome talk. So nice to have you here. I love how our worlds collided in two wonderful places. So, we have one more song. I did the chaplains, yes. Okay, did I forget anything else? Anybody? Am I good? All right, cool. Oh yeah, we have one more song. I'm trying to think of a good segue. Are you singing this song? Oh my gosh. Okay, so we have one more song from our wonderful speaker. He's now going into the musical part. Reverend Adam Sutton.
Again, lots of memories connected to this particular tune. So I offer this as a meditation. Experience it however your heart is moved. Oh, holy night, the stars are brightly shining. This is the night of our dear Savior's birth. Long lay the world in sin and error pining, till he appeared and the soul felt its worth. A thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices, for yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. Fall on your knees, or hear the angel voices. O night divine, O night when Christ was born. O night divine, O night divine. Fall on your knees, oh, hear the angel voices. Oh, night divine, oh, night when Christ was born. Oh, night divine, oh,
from Sutton, bringing it.
Thank you. Such a gift.
Okay, time to welcome in the children.
We are
The light in love. We are walking in the light of love. We are walking in the light of love. We are walking. Oh, we are walking. Oh, we are walking. Oh, of love. We are walking. Oh, we are walking. Oh, we are walking in the light of love.
Woo! We had an awesome day. We had a small group, as you can see. 2 more in there, awesomely cleaning. Yeah, of course. And we talked a little bit about Christmas. And then we actually were so giddy and excited, we played games and really enjoyed the happy Christmas spirit today. That's what we needed to do today.
Thank you, Becca. Okay, now, who wants to pray with Adam, Reverend Adam?
It's very scary.
He's okay. He's right there. And as they're going down to the door, let's rise and sing our peace song.
Harmony. There we go. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there indeed be peace on earth and in our hearts. May we be joyful. May we generate love and hope and happiness throughout this season and into 2015. We rely on our joy generators at full power now, saying together, Amen, and so it is. Amen, so it is. Woohoo! The light of God surrounds us.
We are the light of God.
The love of God enfolds us.
We are the love of God.
The power of God protects us.
We are the power of God.
And the presence of God watches over us.
We are the presence of God.
Wherever we are, God is, and all is well, and we are richly blessed.